He says,
So you was out there taking boy butt, girl butt. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. You were just taking butt, huh?
In one story, a guy who was between 18 and 19 was told by Ryan, quote, he saw potential in me before being assaulted. In order to get in the house, he was forced to inhale a substance as a condition of entry. Later, extremely intoxicated, he was also assaulted by Ryan Piacente in the shower.
Weird, buddy. You're weird.
Insane coffee creator scam by CoffeeZilla.
In the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if the biggest
This is for sure a lie. There's no way you look that cool.
Okay, maybe I exaggerated the setting a bit, but I did get a call.
I fuck with the editor. And I fuck with the vibe too, shit.
Hello?
CoffeeZilla, I've got a scam for you. It's called Revolt. Huge influencers, lies, people haven't been paid.
How much are we talking?
Not sure. Rumors 5 mil, and some of the merchandise still hasn't shipped. You interested?
Yeah, can I source you?
Nah, keep me anonymous on this one.
Now this sounds more like the coffee I know.
Yeah, you're missing the point. After getting this call and finishing my very important business, I started digging around, but the same word kept cropping up.
So you have heard of Revolt. Can I put this on the record?
No, keep it anonymous.
All right, this is great info, but how do you feel about going public?
Sorry, keep my name out of it.
Keep me anonymous, please.
Yeah, I can keep you anonymous, sure.
I was hitting a wall and I was getting frustrated. Little by little, though, a picture emerged. Not fully on the record.
I love this editing, bro.
The voices of more than a dozen anonymous
shit.
calls complaining about this one
This shit
merchant
tough.
revolt, run by a guy named Ryan Piacente.
Isn't he the guy who runs the Misfits?
Yeah, the YouTuber group. And believe me, they'll be involved later. The point is, I was hearing about this merch company revolt, and everyone said in 2019 through 2021, it was extremely successful, working with everyone. And of course, in exchange for this success, Revolt was happy to take a cut of each of these merch drops. In fact, I obtained some of Revolt's sales numbers from 2021, showing how much only 5 of their drops made, 20 million in revenue. I mean, mind-blowing numbers. These creators, who I've hidden for privacy, made $12 million. Revolt, for their cut, should have made $4 million.
Now that is...
Damn, that's a big ass gap. Y'all need to start getting y'all money.
$12 million. Revolt, for their cut, should have made $4 million.
Now that is a mystery. How do you screw up such a business making so much money?
That's what I wanted to find out. Problem was, no one would go public.
Then you have nothing, right? Rumors, innuendo, maybe. But if no one will talk...
No, that's the thing that kills me about this story. Most of the creators did talk. Employees talked. Everyone behind the scenes, they couldn't stop talking. This is why I'm struggling with this story. If it was just off the record, I'd kill it. If everyone was on the record...
It's an easy story.
Right, but it's neither. I'm in limbo.
Well, let's just get to what the accusations are then. Anonymously.
I was just getting to that. As I was saying, Revolt made huge profits, massive merch drops, but there was another side of things. Ryan Piacente had a spending problem. He took 6 private jet trips in a month. Thousands of dollars every night on dinner. We have receipts for, by the way.
Damn.
They spent $25,000 a week to rent a mansion in LA. And they rented a Ferrari for $20,000 for a week. But the thing was, it wasn't really Ryan footing the bill. It was actually...
Revolt.
Right. Even as this company's raking in money, hand over fist, they were spending more than they could afford, which was brought up to Ryan as a problem.
So why aren't you a millionaire?
He spends money like a
way.
Did you always spend money like an idiot?
Yeah, I've always spent money like a
I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that
Well,
experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most.
nah, you can't do that.
because
You
I'm
gotta
just-
get yourself right first. First, when you get yourself right, then you can like go take care of the people that need it.
Like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
Yikes. So they just spent it all? Is that it? Is that the scam?
No. You're getting ahead of me. Look, mind topping me off?
Sure. If it'll get you to spill the beans. So what else?
Well,
This editing
the
is
spinning
amazing.
part was just the start of it. At this point, Ryan's plan was described to me by a source who knew him as Creator A does a drop. Ryan would then spend a large chunk of that on private jets, Nobu, Balenciaga, and then Creator B does a drop, but Creator A still owed money. And so Ryan pays Creator A with Creator B's money. A little Ponzi-ish, if you ask me. But the key here is that this
Nah, bro. You can't do that shit, bro.
works as long as each merch drop is bigger than the last. You can keep paying for everything.
Nah, bro.
But Revolt was
that ain't
starting to
right.
have issues. According to former employees, Revolt had terrible logistics experience, which is okay when you sell 400 units, but when you sell 40,000 in one day, that's a problem. Not only that, Revolt is starting to pull in bigger and bigger talent, and these influencers are demanding bigger and bigger minimum guarantees. Ryan agrees, but things aren't like before.
Bro, you could do all that. He could just do, bro. It's easy, bro. Just say like, just reset the shit. Like, what I mean is like, I bet you been doing that. Say you changing the payment method, and everybody gonna get their shit like a month later. So when everybody get paid again, he have all that money. Then he get them they cut, and shit like that. But hey, man, what do I know?
Some of those merch drops
I ain't know that yet.
underperform. Now Revolt owes money not just to minimum guarantees, but they also were counting on these new merch drops to pay their older clients. So they start delaying payments.
Here we
Just delay payments and get each other right.
go.
That's right.
Get them right.
For the first time, creators, they start actually posting about their experiences. Not off the record, publicly.
Honestly, it's actually a really nice t-shirt, like in like a chill way.
Thank you. We're not going to talk about the company I made it with because they stole everything from me.
So, okay, like I get they're a bad company. Can you put me on their send list, please? Just like for everyone. I'll take all their merch.
Dude, I'm not sure anyone will ever make merch with them again after recently.
It was finally happening. Big creators had started to talk about Revolt. Carl Jacobs said they're the worst people ever that just blatantly lie. Smosh founder Anthony Padilla says Revolt still hasn't paid me. It's been months. Now, I should say, for the record, that he eventually got his issue resolved. But underneath his post, another creator posted, Niachu, saying they haven't paid me either. Now, I called her, and for the first time in this case,
She didn't.
I got a breakthrough.
I'm Nikki Niachu. I'm a Twitch streamer, and Revolt owes me $300,000.
It seemed like represent. Ain't that the shit Corey used? Represent and all that. That seemed like way better. Like if I was to make merch, well, I would make it with either represent or with something else. Like, yeah, like something else like that's on that level.
That's so hard to hear. That's so
I know.
unbelievable.
And it wasn't just her not getting paid. She explained that also people who ordered from her, some of them didn't even get their order.
After everything was shipped, first of all, a lot of people in Europe didn't get their merch. And I messaged them about it, and they said, yeah, we'll look into it. Never did. A lot of my friends who bought merch never received it.
To this date,
Yes.
these
to this-
orders, which were in 2022,
Yes.
have not been sent out or received.
Yes.
Now, as bad as that sounds, as I looked closer, I realized this was common, really common. Delays, missing orders. Sometimes the order would just be wrong, like when they sent out a pin collection but forgot the pins. Now, because
pin
of this,
collection
an
without
insider at
pins?
Revolt
That's
told me that
hilarious.
in December of 21, they had over 100,000 customer support tickets open for quality issues and items not being shipped. And that gets us to the good part.
In a world where common
So shit.
In a world where common sense takes a backseat and
I fuck
physics
with
is
it.
just a suggestion, comes a movie that punches logic in the face.
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot. Our chef
Then come on down.
special touch.
Coffee. Apply, please.
No
Okay,
free
where were we?
ads.
Can I get another drink, actually?
Yeah, I'll pour you another one.
Thanks. Remember that insider document I showed you earlier?
Yeah, made me want to sell merch.
What I didn't tell you is that it was all part of a pitch deck for Mr. Beast. See, Ryan Piacente had met Jimmy, and he wanted to convince him to work with Revolt. So he creates this pitch deck. You've seen the other creator sales numbers, but there were also ideas for Mr. Beast in there, like NFTs you could redeem for merch.
And there were also some financial projections. On their first drop together, Revolt claimed Mr. Beast would make $4 million. Across 3 years, $50 million in annual profit.
There's no way.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe the team was delusional enough to think it was possible, though. So I asked. According to insiders at the company, they actually met Jimmy and started discussing minimum guarantees and how Revolt would 10x his merch business over the next 2 years. But check this out. This being impossible was openly discussed by the Revolt team.
Oh no, they knew?
Yeah. And this is where things go from bad to worse. So Mr. Beast gets this minimum guarantee deal to do his 100 million subscriber collection with Revolt, right? But Revolt doesn't sell like they claimed they would. It does revenue way below expected, meaning Revolt didn't hit their minimum guarantee.
So what do they do?
Well, this is where things dip into fraud, right? Our insider says, I assume this is when they decided to increase cost of goods, meaning Revolt charged Mr. Beast more for every item of clothing than he was actually paying for at the factory.
That's a pretty huge accusation. Where's the evidence?
My question exactly. I got sent this.
What exactly am I looking at here?
What I just sent you is the pricing sheet from the Chinese factory, top left. You can see the invoice item says RVLT, meaning Revolt, MRB, Mr. Beast. There's unit order sizes and prices.
And what are these ink marks?
That's
They
where
raised the
changes
price.
were made. See, somebody wrote down next to the factory prices, new prices, higher prices.
Did you talk to Mr. Beast about this?
Well, nobody would talk on the record, but I confirmed that Revolt charged higher prices to their team like it says in ink. Revolt charged more per item than they were actually paying the Chinese factories, according to their own insiders.
Who else did this happen to?
That shit is crazy.
That's the thing, we don't
That's
know.
fucked up too.
I asked around, and the closest I got was an answer from a former employee. This person claims right as I was exiting the business, he started talking about that. The production manager said she could get the factories to write whatever she wanted on invoices. So it's definitely possible this happened more. It's hard to say. What I do know is when the money ran out, it all fell apart.
What do you mean?
Well, the merch business has a lot of middlemen. People who create the shirts warehouses, store it, fulfillment centers. The thing is, Ryan was running out of money for all of it. What is this?
Misfits merch company going under. Earlier this year, the Salvation Army Arc Memphis received a donation of 100 plus clothing items from Revolt Factory, the merch company. This ranges from Corpse Husband hoodies to Swagger Soul hoodies and other scuffed merch, with everything coming out.
Yeah,
of
and they have to
Misfits
probably
quietly
go
shutting
down.
It makes sense that they were selling and donating old stock.
They donated it?
Basically, from what I heard, the storage fees weren't paid on time to the fulfillment center, so they donated people's clothing to get rid of it. So not only are people not getting their merch on time,
Damn, they
some of it
donated
is
niggas.
literally
Bro, they donating other niggas' clothes instead of just sending it out to them.
randomly sitting on eBay because Revolt didn't pay their bills on time.
I assume you reached out to Ryan Piacente about all this, though, right?
Yeah, multiple times. And we might have talked, but he ghosted me when the next wave of accusations came.
Then I think it's time to go public about this.
Damn, what's going on?
Wait, did you say there's more accusations?
Hey, what the, what's going on?
The thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part, because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
You're a psychopath. Actually, or maybe a sociopath, whatever the difference is.
Operational sociopath.
That is a character you have, though.
We knew it was coming. Hold on. I knew it was coming. Trust me. I knew it was coming, bro. That shit is wild. I gotta sit up for this. This nigga is the idiot. I gotta sit up for this. This nigga is the idiot. Oh man, I can only see it now. The titles and thumbnails I'm gonna be using is crazy.
Welcome back to the $10 million studio. I was investigating what I thought was a case of financial fraud, but what happened next made it also a case of YouTube's own version of Harvey Weinstein. And I don't mean to say that to exaggerate the severity of the accusations you're about to hear. I do say it to convey the seriousness, similarities, and signal that the following is disturbing. Now, if that sounds a little too graphic, I understand if you need to click off the video. We normally don't cover these types of allegations. However, I felt that given we found this halfway through the investigation, we couldn't ignore it. See, it all started last year when there was a serious allegation about Ryan Piacente being a predator. It was made by an insider at The Misfits, the YouTubers that Ryan managed, and this guy went by Packet. These allegations
made to partake in sexual acts with time only ever agreed after being caught. Whoa. Hold on now.
Range from being coerced into inappropriate acts, witnessing Ryan perv on his employees in the shower, break into clients' phones to search for private photos, take advantage of men who he has given way too much alcohol and drugs.
Nigga! This shit done got serious. This shit done got motherfucking serious. Ooh, boy.
And a lot more. Now, when this accusation first came out, and at the start,
this nigga wanted that boy butt. He wanted the boy butt. He wanted the boy butt.
of me investigating, there wasn't much in the way of proof. The only thing verifiable was that Ryan encouraged others to get trashed, which we know because the Misfits themselves talked about it.
So funny compared to like now when that's just the norm. Like people get f***ed up all the time.
Yeah.
No, he's just the one encouraging everyone else to.
Yeah.
Now, besides this piece of evidence,
he just exposed that nigga.
There wasn't much else
That
in the
shit is
way
crazy.
of corroborating evidence until October, when 2 more stories came out that had very similar stories to the original, and I knew we had to take them very seriously. In one story, a guy who was between 18 and 19 was told by Ryan, quote, he saw potential in me before being assaulted in the shower. The other guy was in their early 20s and tells a story of how he was invited to a party with the Misfits, a YouTuber group he liked. But in order to get in the house, he was forced to inhale a substance as a condition of entry. Later, extremely intoxicated, he was also assaulted by Ryan Piacente in the shower. Now, let me remind you that the...
Nah, this nigga was going crazy. Hold the fuck on. This nigga was going wild. That nigga was going stupid dumb. Oh my... Whoa! Hold the fuck on. That shit came a little too fast.
These all are allegations. But let me also tell you that 4 other people have come forward who know Ryan and corroborated his character. One person says, one day I'll tell my Ryan P story, but for now
Ooh, nigga, I wish I had sounds, bro. When I get sounds, bro. When I get a stream deck, bro.
I'll just say this. This rabbit hole goes deep. This person has been abusing his power and money for years.
This nigga taking boy butt.
The trail of victims that follow this man is staggering. Another says, I've known Ryan since we were 16. He was always a weird, pervy dude from the start.
That's crazy.
Billy says, Ryan P has been a disgusting individual for years. Personally, I've seen him do very questionable things. Yet another says Ryan P is a master manipulator. I myself was manipulated by him for far too long. But that's not
Bro, does it ever stop, bro? Does it ever stop?
all. That's just what's public. Behind the scenes, I began to receive much more. One guy told me Ryan offered to fly him out and give him $5,000 to cover work. He showed me receipts of this payment from Ryan. He then told me I end up going and it's all good for the first few hours, but when I went to the bathroom, he followed me and without going into detail, assaulted me when I clearly was extremely uncomfortable.
Like what? What is he doing?
Now, this story specifically has a thread we're going to follow because there's numerous allegations Ryan would use money to coerce people into situations they wouldn't otherwise do, like paying this guy $5,000 to come over for work, or more commonly, he'd pay creators who are struggling for explicit photos of themselves.
He just don't stop, do he? He just can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
People sent me emails they'd get notifying them of Twitter DMs from Ryan asking for explicit photos, along with accompanying payments from Ryan. The reason I'm telling you about all this,
I ain't gonna lie, for a band, you got me.
is not only that it demonstrates this behavior was happening and provides a financial
I'll send that little nigga, I'll send a nigga a quick song. No, a band is a man.
paper trail, but some of it dovetails into fraud. Because as I started asking for some of these financial documents, I found that Ryan would often not just pay people from personal accounts. He would use business accounts to pay for these things, specifically the Misfits business account. Remember, that's the beloved YouTuber group people supported through Patreon,
This nigga's
merch,
retarded.
podcasts.
This nigga's retarded.
Turns out their company accounts were being used in part to pay for explicit photos of some of the fans of the show. I was shown these payments, and the question is, why even do this? To write it off your taxes? No matter the reason, this is like some weird form of fraud. It's not the kind that I know.
Nigga wrote off his taxes to get nudes. That's a odd tax write-off.
Normally like to talk about, but who uses their business account for this? We also need to talk about what happened in April of 2016 as well, when Ryan asked a fan, can we get married? When she told him she was 16, he said, come back in 2 years, which would be when she was 18. But 1 year later, Ryan reached back out, saying this, quote, I retweeted your selfie. Do I get nudes? She replies, that's illegal. He says,
so you was out there taking boy butt, girl butt. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. You was just taking butt, huh? So he was just taking butt. So he was just taking butt. That's what he was doing. That's what he been doing all this time, taking butt.
quote, don't worry, I ain't no snitch. Now, I asked the person who gave me these if she thought he was joking at the time. She responded, no, I think it was legit because it happened a lot on Snapchat. And he fully tried to give me money to do it. Now, this once again corroborates the creepy behavior we've seen from Ryan Piacente in the past. So for those of you who have been counting, we now have 5 independent accusations, some anonymous, some fully on the record. We have multiple forms of evidence, firsthand accounts, DMs, payment processing receipts, and we have 4 independent character testimonies from people who claim to know Ryan. Now, as always, I've tried to reach out to Ryan to get his side of the story 7 times over 2 months and have gotten nothing in the way of an explanation. The last I heard, he was spotted at an airport, and we have no idea of his whereabouts since. Now, this investigation has
disappeared.
been exhausting, honestly, both emotionally and just to carry all the details in my heads of all the accusations, the whistleblowers. So I imagine for you it's been kind of confusing as well. So I want to summarize this piece so we don't miss anything. There's really two sides to the story. We have Revolt the company and Misfits, a YouTuber group. In one, Ryan is basically accused of running a Ponzi-type merch company where he spent too much money and needed bigger and bigger merch drops to pay off debts and minimum guarantees. When that didn't work, he resorted to faking invoices to creators like MrBeast to increase cost of goods, while being so bad at logistics that even when creators got paid, their fans received their merch late, the wrong merch, or no merch at all. And occasionally, creators' merch would just get donated to charity, so that's fun too. And that's just part one. Then you have the Misfits, where Ryan used his proximity to,
I like your background. Like I fuck with that. Like I fuck with that heavy.
Part one. Then you have the Misfits, where Ryan used his proximity to fame and money to abuse a series of guys and girls through a pattern of grooming, intoxication, and then assault, usually involving a shower somewhere. The damage this man has done is hard to calculate.
Listen, that nigga said he needed easy access.
Because it's not just a financial number on a spreadsheet. People have stopped creating content because of Ryan. Others have had mental health breakdowns, and it's past time we warn people about him so no one else gets hurt. Thank you for watching and supporting through viewing, subscribing, checking out the Patreon. I'm so indebted to this community, and I will see you in 2020.
Yeah, we could tell, nigga. Bro, this nigga's a vibe, bro. This nigga's a vibe. CoffeeZilla is a vibe. He's a fucking vibe. I fuck with this right here. Bro, I fuck with this heavy, bro. Cyberpunk aesthetics, bro. Peace. Shout out to the Patreons. WVid. And I gotta subscribe to you just for the editing alone, bro. Just for the editing alone, bro. It's like my first time watching the CoffeeZilla video. That shit was a W. Whew, shit. The nigga's a weirdo, too.